Hello, everyone. My name's Artemis Black, and we are going to have some fun today. Guessing, speculating, educated guessing. What's coming after High Elves? What is the future of Blood Bowl? It's kind of an exciting time because of the way that third season came out. Sorry, my condition's playing up really badly today. We are going to see new teams. Like, we have to, really. The way that they did third season, they're not going to redo the boxes. They've redone all the rules for the existing boxes. So we're going to see brand new teams, probably 2 a year for the next 4 to 5 years. So what could they possibly be? Like, we have no idea. Well, we have some idea. There's some clues around the place. So let's start with the most likely, probably. Night goblins. Look. Monstrous mouth is an interesting skill in general. Do Games Workshop just think they ate making up Chomp and Monstrous Mouth, and that's why there's 4 Chomp tokens in the box? Maybe that's just it, and we've all read too much into it. But the first thing we all thought when we saw 4 Chomp tokens in the box is who comes with Chomp, right? Who's going to have monstrous mouths? And obviously Squigs. Squigs comes flying to mind. Squigs exist in the Warhammer world. Like, it's only 4 tokens though, so a full team of Squigs not likely. But Night Goblins, we saw the Games Workshop release norms, as you can see by the poor Chopper there opening his wallet. Stunty teams do in fact cost a lot of money, make Games Workshop extra money. Man, my condition is kicking my ass. So this is probably the most guessed since we first saw the box set. First saw Monstrous Mouth and Chomp. Do I care? No. Will I play them? Probably not. Will it be popular? Hell yeah. People will love this shit. So I think out of 10 likelihood, probably about an 8. Fairly likely. Very likely. Sorry about the pause, and sorry about dumping this into the middle of what is essentially a fun video, but my condition, as some of you might not know, is kicking my ass. I was born broken. It's a genetic condition. And right now, my swallowing hole is closing by itself. And so I have to stop talking or I'll drown in my own saliva. Pretty, like, grim, but it'll explain why there's pauses every now and again, because I need to get this video done today, and it's not going to get any better. So, I mean, that was goblins, right? Night goblins. The biggest guess that we all have had since it came out. So let's look at the less likely things. And I'm saying less likely. I think a couple of them might be as likely or even more likely. But the second most popular guess, Grand Cathay. Purely due to the fact that the old world Warhammer game released them. Games Workshop loves its synergy. The problem is Cathay are human. So you would have to another human team, and you'd have to have stuff to differentiate them from the other human teams, which you do have in the lore of Grand Cathay. So you have dragon powers, transformation powers, heavily in the lore of Cathay. So you could have weird creatures, dragon powers, you could have stronger warriors. They're also into elemental aspects, so you could name them like storm dragons, jade dragons, individual things like that. They do have interesting big guys in the form of sentinels. That's an old world one on the screen, but obviously you could have a Blood Bowl one, who would be more, I guess, like tree men. Huge, strong, but very slow moving, very tough. More like an anchor point than an ogre or something. So that you could make a kind of interesting thing. There are also mechanics you could use, like yin yang type mechanics, which tie in with the lore, like dribble and drull. You know, if these two are both on the team, if both on the field at the same time, they get bonuses, and if they're not, one of them goes nuts or something. You know, those kind of mechanics fit into the lore and the vibe of Grand Cathay, so it could be more interesting than just yet another human team. So I give this a pretty good shot. Maybe like a 7 out of 10. So this is a tough one for me. Slaanesh. We have waited years. Like, we've had Khorne and Nurgle and just regular Chaos Undivided. Slaanesh. Like, I think the issue with Slaanesh is Blood Bowl marketed to kids. And Slaanesh has tried to move away from the whole boobs out stuff that's going on with miniatures. And that's a kind of a problem, because it kind of still is altogether, right? It is a little bit sexualized. But Slaanesh could be really interesting. You could have Hypnogaze on the team, especially now Hypnogaze is not as broken as it was. Oh, not broken, but it's not as like fully powered as it was, right? Taunt to represent seduction would be like an amazing addition to a Slaanesh team. So those are the two skills that like come flying to mind. Demonettes are fast and agile, so this team would be like an elfy chaos team rather than like a bashy chaos team, which we desperately need some more agility type players that can play something. They are hype. Yeah, I made them utilizing different things. No big guy. You could have strength 4 in the form of fiends, which would be interesting. Fast strength 4 players, maybe, similar to bull centaurs. There are lots of possibilities for Slaanesh to separate them from Chaos Chosen and Nurgle and Khorne. Like, very different team could be built. And like I said, we've been waiting for forever. I think the only reason we haven't got them is the more adult vibe to the Slaanesh miniatures. As soon as, if they can just solve that and just not have, I mean, witch elves exist, right? Witch elves are fairly sexualized. Very little clothing for someone who's playing a game called Blood Bowl. Slaanesh can get away with the same thing. I mean, the problem is, if you just make it that, it's just chaos, right? They have to have something interesting about them. They have to lean into the more interesting stuff to justify their existence. And talking of justifying their existence with weird shit, Tzeentch, the other team we've been waiting forever for. And there are now options in the game to represent Tzeentch, like to represent their like reality manipulation. Firstly, there's Trickster that came with Gnomes. You could absolutely incorporate Trickster into the team. Like for like Tzeentch teleportation would be great. Steady footing to, like, you know, you didn't really knock me down, governor, could be a thing. For different types of positional, you obviously have pink horrors who could like split when you kill them and create blue horrors. Like, that's pretty cool. You would obviously have to somehow work in KOs or whatever, but you could have screamers, flamers. Like, there are lots of things that you could add to Tzeentch to make them more interesting. And I like the demon aspects. Like, that's something we don't have. We have spawn and things. We have rot spawn. So I don't see why we couldn't lean into the like the manipulative thing and the, aha, you haven't really killed me and there's two more of me. Aha, you haven't really hit me. I've teleported over here. Like loads of like weird reality manipulation type stuff would absolutely go with Tzeentch and make them, again, separate to the other teams, their own thing, separate to Slaanesh. You could easily have both, justify both if they're so different. And I think we will see Slaanesh and Tzeentch. So I'm like going the same thing, like 7 out of 10 maybe. Like the biggest issue we have is they're going to need to come up with like 8 teams minimum, and we don't have any, right? This is where we're drawing from, Warhammer lore. There aren't that many options, really, barring them coming up with something out of the blue. You could have pink and blue horrors as separate positionals, with blue horrors, like, yeah, like really small ones, like snotlings or whatever, or goblins. So yeah, loads of options. Like that's the thing. That's the main thing with these teams, is that they have options, lots of them to choose from to make them different, which gives the game designer more leeway and stuff to work with. Slayer hold. So here's the thing with Slayers, right? They were tested in the My Dugout app. The My Dugout app had a bunch of teams on it. One of them was Frenzy Orcs, which I don't think we'll see. They're rubbish. One of them was like an OP version of Imperial Nobility that we did end up seeing, but not the OP version. One of them was on the next page, so I'm not going to spoil it now. And the other one was this, Slayers. Do I think we'll see Slayers? No. Why is it on this list? Because other people think we might. Because it was in the My Dugout app. The problem with Slayers is it's so hard to make the team different to Khorne. Like, you just can't make it that much different to Khorne. Like, I don't see how you do it. Giant Slayers who are strength 4 with Frenzy, we already got that, right? Regular Slayers, they also have Frenzy strength 3 pieces on Khorne. Yeah, I mean, that would be a fun special rule. Like, dead is dead. No Apo at all. Yeah, and we already have Norse that have a bunch of Frenzy, but not as much as, like, so I just don't see a place to squash in a Slayer team. It's sad, because I can imagine cool looking Slayers on the pitch with different colored, like, mohawks and stuff. Like, it would look cool, but I just don't see the team existing because it doesn't have a place. It's too close to teams that already exist. But the 4th team from the My Dugout app is something that I don't know if we'll see, but I really want to see. As you can tell by the Coach Hopper with his fistful of dollars. Skaven clans. How have we not seen these already? Is there anything more built for Blood Bowl teams than the Skaven clan system? Like, they're just the same as Chaos, right? There's the vanilla Skaven team, and then there's all the clans that have incredibly cool shit that could work in Blood Bowl. Look at that thing in the middle of the screen right now. Look at it. The Doom Wheel. How have we not got a Skaven team with a Death Roller? Like, that's crazy. How have we not got that? We got the different clans. So we've got Clan Molder, who have like mutations and could go with like no gutters, but 0 to 2 rat ogres or something. You know, like the brute force team with loads of mutations. Clan Eshin could be the new old Skaven with 4 gutters, and then even instead of blitzers, like have 2 master assassins or something, like 2 skitters. Clan Pestilence have the plague fanatics, so you'd have rats with fanatics. Clan Skyer have the Globadier bombers. People love the crazy stuff. How have we not got these teams? It's absolutely, how have we not got a Doom Wheel in Blood Bowl? We have a Death Roller. Surely we want a Doom Wheel. Will we see? The problem is, I want to see them all. I want to see all, like, the 4 I just named, definitely. I don't know which clan has the technology to make the Doom Wheel. I can't remember which Skaven clan is the tech one. Is it? I don't know if it's one of the ones I mentioned or it's another one. It might be Skya with the Globadiers, right? Okay, so yeah, so bombers and a death roller for Skya. Like, come on. Like, even I would play. I hate rats, and even I would play those. Those seem like crazy fun. Bring back rats by just doing this. That's 2 years of releases there. 4 Skaven clans. How much fun is that? Oh yeah, Clan Moor is another one. Yeah, honestly, it's nuts. You could combine them maybe and have 2 teams. So you could have like Skya and Pestilence for one and like Molder and Eshin for another. You could do anything, right? But you should definitely, like, there's so much good stuff. Just go and look at all the crazy stuff that Skaven have on the Warhammer website and like transfer it to Blood Bowl. And lastly, in the ones that have had some kind of hints or their educated guesses, Kislev Circus. What, like, definitely the best thing that Cyanide ever did was the clever reskin of Slann into Kislev Circus. I don't know if it was their idea. I haven't heard anything different. But it was genius to keep Slann in the game when they've been completely removed from Warhammer lore. As the frog people, not the big old Slann fat ones. But so this would be good for 2 reasons. I don't even like Slann, right? But firstly, it's the best thing that Cyanide ever did, and also Kislev have a great look to them, right? So the look is great. But secondly, it would also stop all the arguments about NAF making up their own goddamn teams, because Slann have been dead for multiple editions now, and every time a new edition comes out, NAF have to go further and further into just making up their own team. They should be dead. Like, obviously. Stop making up your own team, NAF. We are not allowed to do it. We can't make up our own teams and then get NAF approved for tournaments. So how do you get to make one up? You're not special. And this would solve that, wouldn't it? They would exist again, essentially. And the work's been done for Games Workshop. Cyanide did the work. They can just skin them as Kislev Circus. Or just Kislev. Don't even have to add the circus, but the circus explains the jump in, right? You could also just have a Kislev team, by the way. You don't need to have them be Slann. Kislev are a great look for a team. You could just have a Kislev team which would be similar to Norse, and have a bear instead of a Yeti. Like, Kislev's a great look for a team, as long as you differentiated them enough. Maybe you could incorporate the circus and just have, like, some Kislev acrobats as a positional, not the entire team with jump. With leap and pogo or whatever, but just have Kislev acrobats as a positional on a regular Kislev team. That would be interesting, wouldn't it? And that would solve the problem of them being just the same as Cyanide did. And also it would still be like, hey, this exists now, so maybe NAF could stop making up Slan teams. And that to me that's the 7 most likely teams we're going to get. And that's not even enough, right? So, and I don't think we'll get all of those, which is kind of where the excitement comes from. You might notice I'm a bit more upbeat about this. Like, the excitement is real, because I can't think of 8 really obvious Blood Bowl teams to add. So we're all just expecting made up stuff, which is great. And you know, along that lines, where can we try and draw some inspiration for some of these more like unlikely teams from? And you know, there's plenty of stuff in Warhammer lore, but you have to dig further. So the next one up is similar to Cathay, right? It's from Old World. A Beastman team, essentially. They call them bray herds, and they have interesting things. Different types of gore. They have that cool big guy there who's like a cyclops giant. They have those little crazy razor hogs. They have different types of minotaur, a doom bull. Loads of things you could draw on. So to make star players, right? Doom bull could be a star player. Centaurs. PC, you're way behind, mate. We're on number 8. So loads of these things. And again, you can just go and look at the Warhammer page, right? It writes itself. There's enough in this you remove the strength 4 Chaos Warriors. Everyone's still got horns and thick skull. And then you have some like crazy extra stuff. And it's different enough that it matters. That's all that matters, right? Is if it's different enough to play different. If you don't have strength 4 at all on the team, you just have goats who can strength 4 blitz, weird things like a razor gore, and then like a big guy that's odd, like this cyclops or whatever. Different enough. Araby. So Araby and the next, there's some further ones. You might notice I've got the take my money symbol. And that's because I absolutely love the aesthetic of Araby. It's one of my favorite things. The Mummy is one of my top movies of all time, right? I love this aesthetic of Araby with like the thing. But the problem is, firstly, Tomb Kings exist. Which takes away some of the possibilities. Mummies, basic mummies are in generic undead. So you'd have to draw on the, like, you know, Arabian Nights kind of Araby stuff. So, but who doesn't? They did exist in Warmaster, by the way. That's why those tiny miniatures are on the screen. They haven't ever really made any good Araby miniatures in 28mm, but they did have a full range in Warmaster. So it has Warhammer lore to back it up. The problem is, it's a little bit, what's the word? Awkward politically. Could be seen as a little racist. But they went with Grand Cathay, right? Yeah, exactly, Flute. Like, Grand Cathay could also be seen the same way. And who doesn't want a Blood Bowl team with some Aladdin-style sentient flying carpets on it? Some no-hands, fast-moving flying carpets. Come on. Tell me you wouldn't buy that immediately. We've got bed sheets in the necromantic team. We can absolutely have Aladdin-style flying carpets. Yes, Daily. Genies. Big guys that could come with Trickster. How are you going to get 2 dice on a strength 5 guy that comes with Trickster? Like, Araby has everything to make it like a fun, different team to the other humans. Like, I would absolutely buy this. I absolutely love the aesthetic, and I'm sad that there's been no hints. And as PC said, like, they haven't shown up in Total War. They haven't shown up anywhere. So it seems very unlikely that we'll get them. But oh my god, do I want them. This one less racist. Tilea and Estalia. So again, deep history, Lords of Warhammer lore, but they normally have only shown up because they're so similar to Empire. They've normally only shown up in, like, you know, mercenary, Dogs of War type stuff. But Tilea especially has the whole pit fighter, the gladiator theme going on, which would absolutely separate it. The problem is the rules. Yeah, you could set, I mean, as you see there, they could have a dwarf. Like, but it's, you know, how do you separate it from Old World Alliance? How do you separate it from the other humans? The look would look different, but rules would be very hard to differentiate the Tilea or Estalian team. I think Tilea is far more likely than Estalia because of the gladiator aesthetic that they could lean into. But the rules would have to somehow differentiate them. But I do think that they would sell because the gladiator look is great. And obviously it makes it very easy to make miniatures, right? Pit fighters already exist across Warhammer art and lore. So very easy to convert pit fighters to blood bowlers. They're basically the same thing. Estalia doesn't really have as much of a cool thing going for them. So Tilea is far more likely. Now we're getting into more of a deep cut. Albion. I would really like to see Albion. I probably should have put the take my money one there. Because Albion has long been an ignored part of Warhammer lore, which is crazy because it's Britain and Games Workshop is British. But they just never have leaned into it. What we know about it is it's heavily into myth, druids, Celtic myth, wild men, woads, elemental spirits, pixies, druids and shapeshifters, and specifically, as we see here, fen creatures. The fen beasts exist. Look how good that fen beast would look on a Blood Bowl pitch. Swamp thing wandering around. And because of all of that stuff, because it's just based entirely on different myths and things, the team is so easy to differentiate from all other teams. Yes, constantly raining there, hence fen beasts. Yeah, Albion has been more ignored than Araby, I would say. Which is a massive shame because it's amazing. Like the lore is fantastic. Going all the way back to the 1980s novels. One of the Tales of Orfeo is set in Albion. Like, it has the lore to draw from, and it has super cool imagery. I would love to see this. Like I said, I've put the wrong hopper there. It should be the take my money. I would love to see this. And so easy for rules points to try and get it. And now we're down to stuff that has basically no art in Warhammer World either. The last couple of entries are just because, like, they kind of could happen. Nippon. Grand Cathay is there. Nippon? Kind of. Is that more racist? I mean, Hoshikomi exists. Has existed since, like, 30 years as a miniature or something. So Nippon is even baked into Blood Bowl. You might notice the weird miniature in the middle. That is a ogre ninja, a man-eater. But absolutely you could have ninjas and samurai, and as you can see there, that, like, a feudal system with peasants as the linos. Ninjas with leap, like war dancers. Yes, that is in Total War 3, that particular ogre. A little different. Wait a second, Sliker. So do I think we're going to get Nippon? No. For the same reason I don't think we're going to get Araby. Like, I don't know why they think Grand Cathay sidesteps the possibility of looking racist while Araby and Nippon don't. I don't get it. But it does feel that that's how they think. So I don't think we'll get it. Do I want it? I kind of want all of these, don't you? Like, if we're getting new teams, I want them to be based in Warhammer lore. And these are all, like, perfect based in Warhammer lore. And so I go one more at the end, and it's based entirely on one thing. Sea Elves. Look, it's no surprise if you watched any of my previous videos that I do not like third season's lack of agility play. All of the agility teams got nerfed. Yes, people can look at the NAF stats, but they don't understand that NAF stats don't show reality. Like, they show the reality of how agility teams do against people who are bad at Blood Bowl. That's not what I care about. I care how the teams do against people who are good at Blood Bowl, because that's where I want to play. Like, I play at the high end. I want to win things, and to do that, I have to beat other top players. That's what I care about. And none of the agility teams do that for me in third season. So I'd like more. So this is just wish fulfillment, right? But it does exist. Sea Elves exist. The Uranai, I believe they're called. Separate from the High Elves, seafaring elves. And since the dawn of Blood Bowl, Eldril, who used to be called Eldrick, has been a sea elf war dancer. Makes no sense because he kind of has the stats of a catcher, but that's what he's been, a sea elf war dancer. So, sea elves also exist in Blood Bowl. Is Eldril the only one with hypnogaze? Do we want to see sea elves with hypnogaze war dancers? Probably not. But would I like to see sea elves that bring back some agility play? Of course I would. Absolutely. Could they be pirates? Like, as you just mentioned, Sliker, we have Dark Elf Corsair possibilities. We have Kraken. But we could also have not evil elves pirates. Or just, seafaring ones in pirate gear, in seafaring gear. But I would very much like to see another agility team that doesn't suck. Pirate elves sound amazing. Do I think we'll get these? Nah, no, almost no chance. Do I want them? Oh, God, yes. Please give me some pirate elves that can actually do agility play. Ugh, the dream. So we did this live on Twitch, as you can tell from the messages and me answering people in chat. This is where you can find us. If you only know me from YouTube and you haven't yet followed, please give me a follow. We did pass 1,000 subs, and I will be making a video of what we're going to do now that we are past 1,000 subs. The channel will have some new additions, some new types of video, not just these listicles and the games that I cast. There's going to be a whole new side to the YouTube, which I'll make a video on probably the next week. But this was about the future, and as I've said, the edge was taken off, the excitement was taken off, the edge of the whatever you want to say. It just wasn't as exciting once we found out that basically all of the agility teams got nerfed. Because I play progression more than I play resurrection. I do plan on playing more resurrection, and I have been doing well recently in it, so I don't mind playing both. But I also play progression, and the agility teams suck even more in progression, in my opinion, because the buffs via the MVP system and brawling brutes are all for bash teams. Bash teams are going to progress faster than agility teams, which is ridiculous when the agility teams are also the ones that take damage. So I don't think progression has a particularly bright future over the next 5 years. So I would like to see some more interesting teams that do more interesting things. Like, agility play doesn't have to be elves. Like, I class vampires as an agility type team. Basically, ball hawk teams. Teams that care about trying to outplay you rather than outpunch you are agility teams. So teams that have interesting things. Slaanesh and Tzeentch could have interesting things. A Skaven clan team could have an interesting thing. Sea Elves, Araby even, like, they all have possibilities of interesting things that aren't just punching things. So I really would like to see some of the new teams, but you know, we're only going to get probably a team every 6 months, and all the money really is on the next team being night goblins or squigs or whatever, but it could be anything. But is it going to be, I mean, obviously after High Elves, sorry. High Elves are obviously the next team. We have no hints of what's coming after that. It's a whole empty future. And I mean, we're even kind of just praying that we are going to get 8 new teams. We don't even know if that's the case, right? You could look at the way that Games Workshop organized 3rd season as them saying we're done. And we don't get new teams every 6 months. Wouldn't that be sad? But let's look at let's look on the bright side, and that if they follow the path of the last 10 years, we'll get 8 new teams. They've got to come from somewhere. They've got to be in Warhammer lore. They're probably some of them on this list. So please, please, Games Workshop, have some of them be interesting teams, not different kinds of bash teams. Please, 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 please. Anyway, that's the end of that video and the begging. If you are here on YouTube, like I said, please drop us a like and subscribe. I can't do it. I can't do like and subscribe. It's too weird. It just rings Jim in my ears. Or come and see us over on Twitch. I'm going to be streaming for the next few hours, in fact, after I've uploaded this video, probably doing some more casting or playing some vampires. And we will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.